Hello, welcome to the last week of Mrs. Hewitt's Spelling at Home. We have been together through the whole of lockdown and now we are in the final week and then we go into our summer holidays and luckily you'll all be back at school in September. So we have got 5 more root morphemes for you this week for you to build your words. Got some really good ones, loads of words for you to build. So we're starting today with this, which is fin, which is from the Latin finire, meaning to limit. So it's that whole kind of thought of something being an end point of finishing, in fact, which is where fin obviously originates, finish as well. So we have got to limit, put a boundary on it, put an end point. And it's should also say that looking at the grid here, it is very small, you have to look really carefully. I've popped the E on there because you will have to use your spelling knowledge, your word study knowledge of whether you need to use that E or whether it does not go. So if you're ending your word there, you will probably need that E. And then it depends what your suffix starts with. Because if it starts with a vowel, you don't tend to need the E. If it starts with a consonant, then you do usually have to keep that E in, okay? So that's your turn to apply your spelling rules there. I should also say that the actual word fine, in terms of paying a fine, bit of money, does come from this root as well. That whole point of kind of being your time is up, and if you exceed that limit, then you do pay a fine. So that's where that comes from. So we'll get cracking. So there's lots and lots of words. I've actually got 2 pages of word sums today, so I'm going to have to go relatively quickly. I'm going to pop this up to the screen. It's really small. I'm going to try and get it into the frame for you to see because it is quite small. Pause the video and then build your word sums, okay? Just check that that's, yeah, I know it's really small, just do your best. Hopefully you can see it. Okay, so let's go through some of the word sums that you've got today, okay, and we'll see if we can think about where they've come from as well. It's a good thing also I want you to make sure you think about what the word class is, so whether it makes an adjective or a noun or an adverb, because that obviously will help you with which suffix you are using and the meaning of the word as well. So we've got here final, so the fin and the al make final, and again this al at the end does tend to make an adjective, okay? So final is a way to describe something. It's the last one, it's the final thing, okay? So we've got final, and then we've also got a verb there with the eyes, finalise, okay? So we've got finalise, finalised, finalises, finalising. You can see there, we dropped that E because we've got the ED there. So if you finalise something, you decide it's going to finish, you make it final. Okay, now here we have the financial, okay? So we've got finance, which is to do with your money. So again, thinking about what I said earlier about the fine to deal with the money. So we've got finance, and then we've got that shall at the end. So financial, we end up with this C-I-A-L. And if you're not sure, because this is a bit like the shun and the shall, whether it's going to be a T or a C, you can think about the morpheme that comes before. So you think, oh, financial, that relates to finance. Finance, I know how to spell because it's this ants with a C. So finance, and then the EL makes it the adjective. So we've got finance, take that E away, so we've got the IAL, so financial. Okay, talks about relating to money and finances. So here we have confined, confines, confining, confined. So again, the con, really, really common prefix. Con means... correct, it means with. Well done if you got that. So we've got confined and confinement. So we've got the verb here, confined, and we've got the noun, confinement. And you can see with confinement, we keep that E in because we start the following morpheme with a consonant. So otherwise it'd be confinement. Okay, so to make it say confinement, we do keep that E there. So we've got confined, that being within, okay? So it's that bit of being absolutely inside. If you're confined, you're stuck in something, confined to your house, for example, which we all have been recently. And if you are in confinement, that is the noun of where you are, okay? So we've got confined and confinement. Finish, so talked about that being there. That's obviously can be a noun or a verb there. So you have the finish, or you can finish something. And then I've got there unfinished. So that would be an adjective to describe something. So you can have unfinished, meaning obviously you haven't got to the end, okay? Right, these here, we've got some of the words that especially this bottom one, really commonly misspelt word, okay, is definitely. And that's because lots and lots of people stick an A in. They have de-fin-8-ly. It is not, and I'll tell you why. Because it comes from this, finite. Okay, so if I take off and I have finite, finite means ending. Okay, it's an adjective to describe something ending, like infinite. It doesn't end because it goes on and on and on. Infinity. Okay, so we've got finite means there is an end point. So for definitely, definition, and definitely, the D here means thoroughly. Okay, it means completely. So we have got that concept now of it definitely, it is for sure, it is thoroughly ending. There is thoroughly an end point. We are absolutely sure of it, okay? So we've got definitely. You have to remember it's got finite in. Okay, that is how you remember how to spell definitely with an I, not an A. I've had letters from parents in where they spell definitely with an A. Lots and lots of people, adults, do spell definitely wrong. Okay, so I always think of it as finite, definitely. Okay, so we've got definition again, so that's a related word. And actually, with definition, it sounds like an I, doesn't it? If you define something, definition tells you what that word means or tells you something. So definition, got that shun there, cross the E off, I-O-N, definition, definitely. So if you think of those two words being related as well, that will help you spell definitely. You are definitely going to be spelling definitely in your sentences at the end of this. Okay, moving on to my other page, we have refined and refining and refined. So this re means back or again. So again, if you think you refine something, you've already done it once, and then you go back and you do it better, you make it better. So like when you edit your work, you refine it. So that is that terms of kind of ending it again, going back and redoing it. So refined. And here I've just added on here from definitely, I've put indefinitely, meaning not definite. So you need to decide there. That's the bit where if you're not sure, or it's running indefinitely, you don't know when it's going to end, we have the indefinitely there. Okay, all those morphemes are spelled the same. There's no changing words, it's just that "ite" bit that I want you to get. And I mentioned these two words earlier, the infinity and the infinitely. Okay, infinity is the never-ending number. Okay, it's the highest, so that's kind of that concept of not ending. In fine, right? Not in meaning not. So infinity and infinite and infinitely, again meaning not ending. Okay, so it could go on infinitely. We could go on forever. Okay, so that in meaning not. I know I did loads of words there, that went super quick, and I really did not even talk about them all, but the words that I really want you to spell is definitely, so you have to do that one, and then pick some other ones, maybe financial, something to do with finances, and then pick some of your other words to write in your sentences. Okay, but we have definitely learned how to spell definitely because it's from finite. Okay, so off you go and do your writing, and I will see you back here tomorrow for some more Mrs. Hewitt's Spelling at Home. Bye.